Hey everybody, CamoKing back again with another video. A day or two ago I posted a video about my DIY knife etching machine that I made out of a battery charger in a small toolbox. And in that video I said I would be doing a video on the actual process of the etching. So this is going to be that video. To speed things along a little bit, I have pre-prepared a couple things, like this little stencil here, and put the nail polish and stuff on it. But I'll be going over that here in just a little bit. So basically, all you really need to do this etching is like an etching machine. You can get a professional one. Like I said, I made mine out of an old battery charger I found in a garage, and then I just mounted it in a toolbox and put an on-off switch on it. This is going to be your electrode of sorts. This is just a bolt, just an old bolt with a regular cotton swab on the end of it to keep the metal from touching metal, so you don't short anything out and get sparks. I just put that on the negative lead. The positive lead will be going on the knife itself. I like to do my etching in a tray with a piece of towel, fold it up in it just to keep things clean. So let's get into the stenciling process here. The first way, and the way most of you probably can do it, will just to be putting, what you're going to do is you're going to put nail polish, just paint nail polish onto your blade. You can let it dry for 30-40 seconds, a minute, and then at that time just use a toothpick to scratch your design into it, and that'll keep the rest of the blade from getting etched, on only the exposed metal is going to be in here. Like I said, I've done this. I actually did this a couple days ago when I thought about making the video, and this is already dry, so when it's just barely dry and you're just doing it, you can use a toothpick. But since this is already dry, I'm just going to use a straight pin to scratch a quick little design in here. Alright, here we go. A little bit more close up for you so you can kind of see. I'm just going to scratch a design into here. Nothing too complicated. We don't have time for that. So we'll just go kind of old school and draw one of these little 3D looking S's that everybody drew in high school or middle school, elementary school. Something kind of looks like the Slipknot symbol, but not really, but still kinda, but mostly not really, but also kinda. This is a lot easier to do when the paint is still semi-wet. But I've found that when you do it and it's semi-wet, sometimes the nail polish while you're etching will lose its grip on the metal, and the etching will actually bleed through. Actually, we'll just make this into like a little 8 or something instead of an S. So there we go. Here's that quick little design. like I said, this is probably the way most of you are going to end up doing it. I'm going to go over some other ways too, but this is just the nail polish method of resisting. You see the little 8 there, or infinity, however you want to say it. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and etch this now. So what you're going to need to etch this is, like I said, your power source and an electrolyte solution. I'm just using distilled white vinegar and with some salt in it. There's no real recipe. However much you like, I suppose. And what you're going to do is turn your power source on, and before you do that, make sure you're hooked up here. The positive lead on the piece that you're going to etch, like so. Your electrode is the negative lead. You're going to dip the end of the electrode into the electrolyte solution. You can dab some of it off, and you're only going to touch this to the portion you want etched. Turn the battery charger on. And you'll know it's etching because you'll hear it sizzling. And as you can see, it's already started to discolor. I usually like to go about 5 or 6 presses, and then I'll wipe it off so I can see how it's doing. And if I want it to go a little farther, I'll dip back into my electrolyte solution and get most of it off. And just keep repeating this process until you get the etch that you want. And now what you're going to be able to see here is, because I didn't paint out far enough, there's going to be a spot right along this edge, and probably right along this edge, where it's going to be etched, which is okay for me because this is just a test piece. You might be able to hear that sizzling, and what that is basically the metal corroding. Oop, see, that's the problem with nail polish right there, is that it kind of pulls your cotton ball apart. This piece is going to be hot, so just be careful, be notable about that. I'm going to go for a deep etch on this one. That way it'll show up good in the camera for you guys. You see, that's why I don't like using the nail polish method. And to clean this off and see what your etch looks like, you're going to need some acetone. And I am just going to use this regular fingernail polish remover and another cotton pad. To remove the fingernail polish and reveal the etch. Okay, we'll get that up close for you. Can you see it? Yep, there it is. See if we can't zoom in a little bit more on it for you. Focus. There it goes. You can see right there's the etch. It's in there pretty deep. And you can see right here and right here are those areas I was talking about. Now these aren't etched very deep at all. It's mostly just discolored, and you could get that off if you took it to your grinder or just use sandpaper.